So shall we start the class? You're able to see my screen, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so far we have completed till foreign invasion, that is Greek and Persian invasion, right? So after that, what happens? So we have seen there are some native rulers, those who have ruled India before Mauryans. Those are all considered as the first rulers, first dynasty belong to Indian history. So after that, what happened? So who are the last powerful rulers before Mauryans in India? Okay, fine. So we have seen all the Aryanka dynasty, Shishanaga and Nanda dynasty, and we saw that Nandas were the most powerful ruler. Because of them only, Alexander's army refused to move further towards the east of India. So after that, what happens? Chandragupta Maurya came to ruling with the help of Chanakya or Kautilya. So let's see about the Mauryan Empire's introduction. So Chandragupta Maurya was the founder of Mauryan Empire. He inspired by Alexander. Chandragupta built an army and overthrew the Nanda power in Magadha and established the Mauryan Empire. So Alexander's army refused to come to India because of Nandas. But again, Chandragupta Maurya is inspired by Alexander and he built an army and overthrew the Nanda dynasty in Magadha and established Mauryan Empire. And Mauryan Empire is also known as the first well-established empire in ancient Indian history. And after becoming king, he took additional lands by force and alliances. So he does not made only alliances; he also captured the lands by force. And his chief minister is Kautilya. As we see, he's also known as Chanakya, and he is the main person who is responsible for Chandragupta Maurya to take over Nandas. And sometimes advised Chandragupta and contribution to the empire's legacy. Even though Chandragupta Maurya is a great king, at the time of, during his period, what happens? Only the Kshatriyas will rule. So it is also believed that Chandragupta Maurya is also from non-Kshatriya clan to rule the empire. And it marks a watershed junction in the Indian history. That means it is like he ruled over the whole subcontinent, Indian subcontinent as a large portion, and it is like extended far from northeast, and by a supreme, power, he alone ruled. He is the first king to rule, entire subcontinent in a large portion, but it does not extend up to southern part of India. And it is not just about the vast extension of geographical territories. It gave an Indian subcontinent strong centrally controlled administration. So as we see, it controlled the whole subcontinent by under single rule, and it is not just a geographical territories, but also it gave a centrally controlled administration. And its chief minister is Kautilya. He also advised same, I think, same sentences are repeating. No need to worry. And the most important and famous rulers of Maurya dynasty are Chandragupta Maurya, Bindusara, and Ashoka. So let's see about the sources of Mauryan Empire, which are helpful, or which are the reasons or gave the most of the resources for studying about Mauryan Empire. We have already seen that there are three different sources: literary, archaeological, and what is the another source? Write it in the comment section. I'll read it. Okay. Literary sources. Literary sources means Indica. Indica is written by Megasthenes, and it gave a vast knowledge about the Mauryan dynasty and its economic and society, about the economic condition and society of Mauryan Empire. The Greek ambassador was also sent by Seleucus Nicator to Chandragupta Maurya's court. Who is this Seleucus Nicator again? A foreign account. Who is this Seleucus Nicator? We have seen about all the people, right? During the invasion of Alexander, what happened? After the Battle of Hydaspes, he took over from Porus, and what he did, he appointed 3 important ministers of him to rule over the region, and one among them is Seleucus Nicator. He was ruling the Taxila region, and he is sent a Greek ambassador to Chandragupta Maurya's court, and that person wrote about Chandragupta Maurya's or Mauryan Empire's complete administration, economic condition, and mostly about how the society during the Mauryan Empire. Okay, and he also wrote an account on administration of the capital city, Patliputra, and his works are not available in full, and the fragments. And this Indica is not a actual version of what Megasthenes has written. It was all fraction of his works, and it was all compiled by the Greek writers in the later period, and it is published in the name of Indica. Okay, and the next one is Arthashastra. Arthashastra was written by Kautilya. We have seen that he has written in 3 volumes, and it contains about informations about the Mauryan administration. This Arthashastra is the most important sources not only for Mauryan Empire but also for the ancient Indian history. So it contains 15 books and 180 chapters, and it is divided into 3 divisions. And the first division contains about the king and its councils. The second one deals with the civil and criminal law, and the last and third division deals with diplomacy and war. So it has 15 books which is segregated into 3 divisions and contains of 180 chapters. The first division is all about the king and his council. The second one is about civil and criminal law. Third one is about diplomacy and war. And the next one is Mudra Rakshasa. Mudra Rakshasa was written by Vishakadatta. It's a drama in Sanskrit. Okay. So this piece of work belongs to Gupta era. Even it belongs to Gupta era. It gives the socio-economic conditions under Mauryans. So Mudra Rakshasa is Vishakadatta's Mudra Rakshasa is written in Sanskrit, and it is a drama like book. It actually belongs to Gupta era, but also it gives little bit of information about the Mauryans. And the victory of Chandragupta Maurya over Nandas under a guidance of Kautilya is elaborated in this. So we have always insisting Kautilya because he is the major reason why the Indian history, like ancient Indian history, is starting with Mauryan Empire, because he was a court poet of before Chandragupta Maurya. He served as a chief minister or court poet under Nandas, and Dhanananda was refused to accept his counsels. So he took a vote to destroy the Nanda dynasty and helped Chandragupta Maurya to claim the throne against Nandas. So apart from these 3 major sources, some of the Buddhist literatures, Jatakas, Deepavamsa, Mahavamsa, and Puranas draws account to the Mauryan Empire. So some of the Buddhist tales, Deepavamsa, Mahavamsa stories, and all are contributed a lot to the empire. These 3 are considered Indica, Arthashastra, and Mudra Rakshasa are considered as the major sources for Mauryan Empire. So let's see one by one about the rulers of Mauryan dynasty. The first one is Chandragupta Maurya. As we have seen, he is the founder of Mauryan dynasty. So Chandragupta or Chandrakutos, as is referred in the Greek literature. So Chandragupta's name is mentioned as Chandrakutos in Greek literature. Launched a serious wars against Dhanananda and also liberated the country from Greek rule by defeating the Seleucus Nicator of Seleucid dynasty in 305 BC. So we will see about the Seleucid dynasty after the Chandragupta Maurya's Mauryan Empire. We will see about post-Mauryan dynasties of foreign rulers. That time we'll discuss about the Seleucid dynasty detailedly. Just remember, Seleucus Nicator is a ambassador Alexander, and he formed after the death of Alexander, he formed Seleucid dynasty and established him as the ruler of that dynasty. And Chandragupta Maurya, he not just captured the Dhanananda and established the Mauryan dynasty, but also he liberated the country from Greek rule by defeating Seleucus Nicator in 305 BC. He also laid foundation for the Mauryan Empire in 322 BC with the help of Chanakya. After conquering this region between and Bay of Bengal, Chandragupta launched expedition throughout the country and included territories of Andhra, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Gujarat, central regions to Mauryan Empire. So as we see, Magadha is the part is situated in the central India. After capturing Magadha from Nandas, he also extended the territory by including the territories of Andhra, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Gujarat, and central region. And thus, it credits the first unification of North India in attribution to Chandragupta Maurya. So, as we see, this unification is only belongs to North India till no one has reached to the southernmost part of India. So, as you see, this is the region of Chandragupta Maurya. So, after capturing this Magadha region and the Patliputra, he also extended his territories from northeast to at most southern part. He reached till Karnataka and Andhra, but he did not reach almost all the South India. So this is the part where Seleucus Nicator is ruling, and he also captured it. So after that, Megasthenes, Greek ambassador, was sent by Seleucus Nicator in Chandragupta Maurya's court. So we have seen already this, that he's a Greek ambassador who wrote Indica, and according to Jain sources, he embraced Jainism towards the end of his life and abdicated the throne in favor of his son. So what happened at the end of his rule? He started embracing the Jainism and he gave his throne to his son Bindusara. And he also we have during the Jainism we have seen, along with Bhadrabahu, he went to Shravana Belagula. He also practiced this Shalekna method and he died by practicing the Shalekna only. So it is a method of slow starvation. They won't eat for days. They'll consume like a little bit of water for some days. After that, they stop that also and they'll die like that. That is a even present day. Some of the Jain peoples are following this method. Recently, like a few years back, 5-6 years back, it became a huge issue in Karnataka that one family, killed a 5 or 6 year old kid in this method. So, okay, Bhadrabahu is a Jain saint. So, along with him, Chandragupta Maurya went to Shravanabelagula and he died by practicing Shalekna. So, it is a famous Jain pilgrimage center till now, and with a Gomateshwara statue in it. The son of Rishabhnath in Kayochargamudra is situated here. So in Shravana Belagula, statue of Gomateshwar, he is a son of Rishabhnath was in a Kayochargamudra. So it is situated in Shravana Belagula. And he is regarded as the first ruler of integrated India during the ancient period. So after that, this is all about Chandragupta Maurya. And after that, Chandragupta Maurya was succeeded by his son Bindusara. And Mahabhashya is a poet. He refers Chandragupta's successor, that is Bindusara. He referred Bindusara as Amitragada, that means a slayer of enemies, known as Greeks or known as like Amitragada is known to Greeks as Amitrochatas. So that means a slayer of enemies. He never faced any failures in his ruling. Madrasar, Simhasena are other names used for Bindusara. So some of the text or some of the inscriptions mention Bindusara as Madrasa or Simhasena. These are his nicknames or other names. And He followed the extreme fatalism order, that is Ajivika, founded by Mahakali Koshila. This order a complete disregard for karma. And Bindusara maintained good diplomatic relations with Antiochus I. Is again a person from Seleucid dynasty and is a king of Syria. Antiochus and Demicus is a person named Demicus is a ambassador of Antiochus. Is a Syrian king. That means Bindusara and Antiochus I. Okay. They had a good friendship. He belongs to Seleucus dynasty of Syria. So they both had a very good friendship. So this person, this king of Syria, sent his ambassador Demicus to Bindusara's court. In favor, Bindusara also asked, once again, we'll see about it. After that, we'll see the map. Okay, so Bindusara requested Antiochus to send some sweet wine, dried figs, and sophist. So all this will be sent to Bindusara by Antiochus I, except sophist. Sophist means philosophers. He stated that we don't sell philosophers or we don't gift philosopher, as they were, they were all knowledgeable persons. uh, it will be like we don't sell any, people in the name of intellects. So we are not able to send sophists. He requested that we cannot send philosophers to your country, but he sent other two requests of Bindusara, that is sweet wine and dried figs were sent from Syria to India by Antiochus to Bindusara. So the Tibetan monk called Tarnatha describes Bindusara as conqueror of land between two seas, that is peninsular India. So as you can see, he conquered the whole of India except Kalinga. Okay, what happens? It's like he completely captured all over the India. So he called Tarnatha called him as conqueror of land between two seas. And Divyavadan is a Buddhist biographical narrative of Mauryan kings. It also mentions a revolt at Taxila being suppressed by Ashoka, the son of Bindusara, who was Kumara or Viceroy of Ujjain at the time. So, what happens? It is believed that Ashoka is a viceroy of Ujjain and his father is Bindusara. You all would have heard about Ashoka that he killed 100 of his brothers to came to this throne. So let's see about Ashoka. He actually killed all his brothers to came to this throne, but one of his father's minister will help him to acquire the throne. Okay, during his father's reign, he was appointed as a viceroy of Taxila and Ujjain, and eliminating other calamities, was crowned to the throne in 69 BC. And Radha Gupta, he's the person who helped Ashoka to claim his throne by informing all his father's activities to Ashoka. So, 8 years after coronation, Ashoka fought the horrible Kalinga War in 261 BC. You all would have heard about this. Actually, Ashoka killed all his brothers except his last brother Tissa. So Tissa was his youngest brother and he was not killed by Ashoka, and he was actually liked by Ashoka a lot, and even some of the parts of his ruling was given to Tissa to rule. Let's see. After capturing the throne from his father, what Ashoka did after 8 years, he fought this Kalinga War, and it is between the King Ashoka and the state of Kalinga. Why he invaded this Kalinga? It has a glorious and prosperous region, and it valued the freedom and was talented in the arts. So some of the important ports were ports as well as strong navy. So it has prosperous land and it valued freedom and it has more artists with talented arts, and it also has ports and strong navy. So if he captures, it strengthens the Ashoka's army and its empire. So as you see, the Kalinga was not captured by both Chandragupta, Maurya and Bindusara. So later on during the Ashoka's period, so as you can see, Bindusara will be captured till and except Kalinga, and Ashoka will be ruling the same with some parts lesser than Bindusara. But this Kalinga was untouched by any of the rulers ruled before Ashoka. Ashoka is the first person to capture Kalinga, and it is the reason he changed his mind and become started to practice Buddhism. So Ashoka was moved by the untold miseries caused by the war, renouncing the conquest of by warfare in favor of cultural conquest. So in other words, he you know Berikosha was replaced with Dhammagosha. So it is like Berikosha means they'll fight with the other neighboring countries and capture the country. But Dhammagosha means they'll follow Dharma as a practice. Okay. So later on, he became Buddhist under the guidance of Mohaliputta Chisa. So he presided the third Buddhist council in 250 BC at Patliputra. Who conducted this first and second Buddhist councils? They write it in the comments. I'll see you afterwards. He also sent missionaries to propagation of Buddhism to Sri Lanka, South India, South Indian states, Burma, and Central Asia. Actually, he even sent his own daughter and son to propagate the Buddhism to Sri Lanka. He also sent ambassadors of peace to Greek kingdoms and Greece. So we have seen that he changed his mind from capturing countries by warfare, and he started to follow Dhamma as a method of conquering the country. What happens actually? Did he changed immediately after the Kalinga War? Because of Kalinga War, it caused, lakhs of people died in the Kalinga War, and it was like complete bloodshed in the Kalinga. So it changed Ashoka's mind to become a, not very like that. He become very, it was not, Ashoka was not extreme pacifist. So as you see, he become a pacifist, but he did not, changed completely. He retained Kalinga and incorporated it into his kingdom. So after capturing it, it caused him misery, but he did not retain Kalinga. He also and incorporated it into the kingdom of Ashoka, that is Mauryan kingdom. He also did not dismantle or disband his army. So he did not disband his army, or he did not retain the Kalinga to its ruler. So as you see, he's a person who want to follow Dhamma, and he practiced but he did not say that he will never fight again. It is like, I will not fight in the name of capturing any country to my, or in the name of annexing any neighboring country into my country. But if some of the king or someone tries to invade my property, I will fight against them. This is his policy. And again, he did not dismantle his army. Again, he, gave many dhamma to practice. That one of it was, you should not sacrifice. There should not be any animal sacrifices in his kingdom. But what happens if some person was violating this rule or dhamma by sacrificing any animal? Ashoka will immediately kill that person. So it is not, Ashoka is not completely a pacifist, and he did not follow Dhamma as completely. Okay. He gave so many instructions, but he did not completely follow all the instructions. So under Ashoka, almost entire subcontinent came into single control, except extreme south, that is Uttar Taxila and Avanti Rashtra, Ujjain, Prachi, Patliputra, Kalinga, Dakshinapata were most important provinces. So except the extreme south, So that is Tamil Nadu, except Tamil Nadu and extreme south, some parts of Kerala and Andhra Pradesh. Everything else was under Ashoka rule. And the Dhamma, you all would have heard about this word. The Dhamma is a Prakrit word. It's again a vernacular language meaning Dharma. So he gave all the, he inscribed all the Dhammas in stones and pillar edicts, and it was kept for public. The Ashokan edicts were written primarily to explain to the people throughout the empire the principles of Dhamma. The complete sources of ancient history is also, most of the ancient history sources belongs or taken from Ashoka's inscriptions, and the mainly Ashoka started to inscribe in the pillars and inscriptions are to explain the principles of Dhamma to the people of Mauryan Empire. So Ashoka's Dhamma was not specific religious belief or practice. So it does not give any religious belief or practice. It is simply, how a person should follow certain rules to attain moksha. So as you see, the complete India, so complete India by Ashoka and the Mauryan dynasty. So even sent his son, as I said, his son Mahendra and daughter Sankarappa were sent to Sri Lanka to spread Buddhism. So he was the first ruler to maintain direct contact with his people through his inscriptions. So before Ashoka, everyone will be giving all the instructions and orders and all the informations to the people through ministers or some of the persons who work for the king. He's the first person to have a direct contact with the people through his inscriptions. So some of the names of Ashoka are Buddha Shakya and Ashoka in Muski Edict. Actually, Muski Edict is the only place where this name Ashoka is given. All the other inscriptions, all the other, sources mention him as Devanam Priyadashi. Okay. Devanam Priya or Priyadashi. These are the two important names. It was mentioned in the inscriptions or chronicles and other sources. This Muski edict is the only edict that contains Ashoka's name as Ashoka. And Dharmakosha and Sarnath inscriptions, Devanampiya meaning beloved of gods. And Piyadashi means in the Sri Lankan Buddhist chronicles, Deepavamsa and Mahavamsa, it is mentioned as Piyadashi. So, what is the Dhamma of Ashoka? Let's see about the Dhamma of Ashoka. So, Ashoka was a Buddhist. He started to follow Buddhism and he also promoted few principles of morality known as Dhamma. Four cardinal points of Dhamma includes tolerance, non-violence, good conduct, and welfare. Good conduct means obeying parents, elders, and respecting Brahmins and Buddhist monks. Tolerance, you should always have a tolerance and non-violence. Yeah, as I said, he practiced non-violence, but to some extent he did not follow his own Dhamma. We can say like that. A new officer called Dhamma Maha Mantra was appointed for the promotion of these four cardinal points. So he asked all the youngsters to obey parents and elders. If they are not doing that, again he'll be giving extreme punishments to the people. Ashokan inscriptions and edicts. So as we've seen, the history of Ashoka was built with these inscriptions on the basis. He has a large, um, vast history that everything belongs or built under the inscriptions, basis of inscriptions only. The inscriptions were proclamations of Ashoka to the public at large, which shows his effort to propagate Dhamma. So he wanted to propagate the principles of Dhamma to the general public. And there are about 39 inscriptions which are broadly classified into four categories that are like major rock edicts, minor rock edicts, major pillar edicts, and minor pillar edicts. Let's see about 13 major rock edicts are very, very important for as a source of Mauryan dynasty. So let's see about the inscriptions and edicts. The national emblem, we have always seen that, 4 lines, that is our national emblem, right? It was taken from Ashoka's Sarnath pillar and mainly inscribed, all this, inscriptions are mainly inscribed in Prakrit language used in Brahmi script. So inscriptions from Manchera and Shavajkari in Karhi in Pakistan were in Prakrit language but in Kharoshti script. So most of his inscriptions are in Prakrit and Brahmi script, but Manchera and Shabajgari in Pakistan alone as Prakrit language and Kharoshti script. So the name Ashoka appears only in the copies of, as I said, this name Ashoka is only appears in the minor rock edict one, which is in Maski. Maski is in Karnataka. Okay. Maski is an edict which found at one place in Maharashtra and 3 places in Karnataka. All the other inscriptions have the name of Devanampiya Priyadash, which means the dear to gods. These inscriptions were found in Afghanistan, Pakistan, Nepal, and India. So they were mostly placed in the ancient highways. So he also built, roads and he planted trees in the during the roads for a smooth travel, and he also placed his inscriptions and pillars in the highways, inscribed his Dhamma to promote or to establish the principles of Dhamma. He placed everywhere in the highways, which is also found in Afghanistan, Pakistan, Nepal, and India. So this map is not clear. I'll share the map separately. Don't worry. So these are the places where major and minor rock edicts are there. So you can see, and the inscriptions found in the Indian subcontinent were mostly written in Prakrit using Brahmi script, while in the northwestern part Aramic language and Kharoshti script were used. So these are the some of the important information about Ashoka and Mauryan dynasty. So we'll see about Mauryan administration in the next class. Let's conclude this class till now, till Ashoka's inscriptions. So do you have any doubts regarding all the 3 emperor rulers or their inscriptions and other policies they have included? You can ask now or else we'll wind up the class. No doubts? Okay, shall we end the class now? I've asked who's the Lucas Nicator we have seen, and when was who presided the first and second Buddhist councils? No reply. You don't know or nobody's listening the class.
Ma'am, first Ajista Sattu, the second one Kala Shoka. Ma'am.
Okay, very good. Okay, see and come mostly by Saturday or Sunday you will have a history quiz that will be, before Mauryans. Till pre-Mauryans we'll have quiz. After that we'll have some other time. So study from prehistory to pre-Mauryans. Okay? So today's class is over. You can leave the class. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.